Alright, hello to my, so we're playing crazy lore. Oh wait, you can't see all of this. Hold on. Okay. There we go, everything's perfect now. Here's my Chaos Over Playing Crazy lore explanation. I should probably turn on my mouse for this so you can see what I'm looking at. Alright. So this right here in the background, this is a portal, and this is the original railgun. One of my first mechs that I built in the lore. And it was like after he exited this portal here. This is Doge 2 and the Spire, two characters in one. And sorry about that. The ranged weapon 2 is using is basically from the Spire's abilities. And that sword is from 2's abilities. And this is the second variation of Railgun. This is the remake that I made, and it's not as close to the original. I originally deleted the original, and the original that you saw in the first part is actually also a remake, but it's almost perfectly original because I looked at an image that one of my friends sent me because he found this. And this is Ancient Core. Basically, one of the most powerful mechs for its time. It had 2 fans that would spin, and once the sword was at max power, it would start glowing. And when this arm cannon was active, it would start spinning and glowing right here, as you can see. And then the mask opens up. Of course, you don't get spoilers to see who's inside the mech. And this is the Spire. This is his mech. And he's got this. The little symbols spinning around his head are basically from his abilities that he has. And you can see that the gun he has is the same one. Hold on, this is the same one that 2 has. And this is just a helicopter. Doesn't need much explanation other than that. It has 2 guns and 2 rocket launchers on both of the side pod things. And this is a Doge Empire battleship. One of the current enemies of this time. And in the background, when the sound's on, you can hear the alarm, and this is the mega laser it has, which fires out. And the reason why it explodes is actually because in the lore, if an enemy were to shoot down the barrel of the mega laser while or before it's firing, it would cause the entire front area to explode. And after that, all the escape pods on the sides launch, and then the core explodes, because after the mega laser exploded, it made the core unstable, so it just exploded. And this is the Dreadnought. You also saw this in the trailer to this. It's one of 3 of the, well, technically 4 of the biggest ships in the lore. This is the inside, the fuel area, as you can see from here. I don't know if you can read that. and this is the all the pipes, which gives it power. This over here is a control station, and through this door is cargo, and this is the bridge over here with some satellite dishes. And the reason, if you didn't already know why it's talking about chaos, is because the title Chaos Over Playing Crazy, True Beginning. The reason why it's called the True Beginning is because this takes place after a reset that happened in the lore, where everything got reset, and it basically restarted the lore. So we are way in the past currently. And this activating sensors is because this railgun, called Railgun Mark III, is activated. And it has to activate the cameras. And this is Mark III. This mech over here is called Rail Cannon, one of the enemies currently. And you'll learn more about Rail Cannon later on. I'm not going to tell you everything right now. Let's see. The sound error is because Rail Cannon has an ability to cause a loud sound which disrupts Mark III sensors and hearing and cameras, making the sound error happen. And with Mark III's and other railguns, their AI is able to easily tell them if they have some sort of critical injury without having to see it. They also don't have to feel it either, because they're robots. This camera error, I just added this for fun. And so it would look if the camera had to reactivate. Let's see. But yeah, this cutoff of the arm was perfect. That was just cinema right there in the video. And then this takes place at one of the Doge bases, because one of the Doges was probably looking at Mark III's camera from one of the cameras at the bases, and it now says Railgun destroyed after it got destroyed. Now we pan over to the Dreadnought. And this is basically a Doge army controlled Dreadnought. It's here to just basically intercept anything that comes over to the island. And later on, a few minutes it says in the lore, in the video, an enemy Pocket fighter appears and intercepts the Dreadnought. And the Popcats are another race of enemies. They're enemies to Doge Army and Doge Empire, and also the Glitched Army. Those are three enemy nations. And they have this fighter called the H-10, which is really their only plane that they use. They don't really have any other aircraft, because they think that it's pretty much useless, because they use mechs for almost everything else. And so the Dreadnought has some heavy shields, which the shields are from this little cage at the bottom that holds the shield generator. And now the shields are low and the Dreadnought is fleeing from the H-10. And the reason the cameras were disabled for this part was because the Dreadnought got flung when we were filming, so I decided to just cut this part out. for it to be more cinematic, you know. And then this is when I deployed the drone. Dreadnought has 3 fighters, 2 fighters, and 1 drone. One's a fighter, one's a bomber, and this one's a drone. And what it does is the thumbtack basically crashes into an enemy fighter or plane, stabbing the plane or stabbing the enemy vehicle, and they aren't able to get it out because they can't really push it or anything, because this thing isn't going to be used for mechs, because the mechs can easily just grab it out of the sky or shoot it down. But what it does once it stabs the enemy, it then explodes, hopefully dealing high amounts of damage. But yeah, that's about it for the lore explanation. And then the shields go down, and then it explodes. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.